Title: The birthday I tried to forget, and the secret I couldn't hide anymore. I didn't plan to ruin Emily's birthday. In fact, when I first brought up the idea of not going, I thought I was doing everyone a favor. But the truth is, that night, the one we were all supposed to spend laughing, drinking, and pretending we were still the same close-knit group we used to be, was built on a lie I couldn't stomach anymore. A lie I helped create. It started a week before Emily's 27th birthday. Our group chat, the Core 4, was buzzing with plans. Emily wanted to go to the same rooftop bar where we'd celebrated her last birthday. The same place where she'd kissed her now boyfriend, Jake, for the first time. Jake, who used to be my boyfriend, or rather my secret boyfriend. 2 years ago, before Emily and Jake ever met, he and I had been together quietly for 3 months. We weren't official. At least, not to anyone else. I told myself it was just casual. He told me it was complicated. And when he ghosted me, I assumed it was just another failed fling. Until he showed up at Emily's housewarming party, holding her hand. I remember the way he looked at me that night. Like I was a stranger. Like the months we spent together were some fever dream only I remembered. I wanted to hate him. I wanted to hate her. But I couldn't. Emily was my best friend since college. The kind of person who showed up when no one else did. The one who held my hair back when I was sick, who lent me money when I was broke, who called me her sister. So I smiled. Pretended it didn't matter. Pretended I was happy for them. And for 2 years, I carried that secret. A ghost of a relationship I'd buried so deep even I almost forgot it existed. Almost. Then came the birthday. Emily wanted everyone there. Me, our mutual friends Jess and Tom, and of course, Jake. When I saw his name in the group chat, something inside me twisted. Every time she said his name with that soft affection, I heard the way he used to whisper mine. And that's when the guilt began to rot. One didn't want to see him, didn't want to fake a smile, didn't want to relive the lie. So I said something impulsive, something small, harmless, or so I thought. Hey, guys, I texted, do we really have to go to the rooftop? It's expensive, and Emily's been kind of distant lately anyway. I hit send before I could overthink it. Jess replied first. I mean, yeah, she's been hard to reach. Tom chimed in, we could always do something low-key instead. And just like that, the idea caught flame. Over the next few days, the plan to celebrate Emily started to fall apart. Little excuses piling up, everyone suddenly busy. I told myself I wasn't sabotaging anything. I just didn't want to go. But deep down, I knew better. When Emily found out, it was like watching a slow-motion car crash. She texted the group on the morning of her birthday. Hey, so no one's coming tonight? Not even you, Lily? I didn't reply right away. What could I say? That I'd quietly convinced everyone not to go. That I couldn't bear to see her happy with the man who used to lie beside me. When I finally answered, I wrote, I thought we were just doing something smaller this year. Sorry if it came across the wrong way. She didn't respond. The next morning, Jess called me. Her voice was tight. Emily found out what you said. My chest went cold. What do you mean? She saw the messages. Tom showed her. She knows you said she's been distant. She's devastated. I sank into my couch, the weight of my own words crashing down on me. She said she feels betrayed. Jess continued. That her best friend turned everyone against her. I couldn't speak, because she wasn't wrong. Later that night, I went to Emily's apartment. Her lights were off, but I could see the faint glow of the TV through the curtains. I knocked anyway. When she opened the door, her eyes were red. She didn't yell. She didn't even look angry. Just hollow. Why would you do that, Lily? She asked softly. I didn't mean to what? Make me feel like everyone hates me? Or did you just not want to see him? I froze. I know, she said. I've known for a while. My heart stopped. You what? Jake told me. She whispered. A few months ago, he said you and he had a thing before we met. I didn't want to believe him. I thought you would have told me. Tears burned behind my eyes. I wanted to. I swear I did. But you didn't, she said, voice trembling. You just stood next to me and pretended. 4 years. Her words hit harder than I expected. I thought I was protecting you, I said weakly. She laughed, a sharp, broken sound. No. You were protecting yourself. And then, quietly, she closed the door. That was 6 months ago. Emily blocked me on everything after that. Jess and Tom still talk to me, but it's not the same. There's always an awkward silence when her name comes up. Sometimes I see pictures of her and Jake online, smiling, radiant, in love. Every time I do, something in me twists again, but it's no longer jealousy. It's guilt, because I didn't just lose my best friend. I lost the person who made me feel like I was worth forgiving. Now, sitting here, rereading the messages that started it all, I keep wondering if maybe I am the asshole. Not because I skipped a birthday, but because I let my pain become betrayal. I could have been honest. I could have told her the truth years ago. Instead, I let a secret rot until it destroyed everything good left between us. And now I can't help but ask, aitah for convincing my friends not to go to Emily's birthday. Or did I just finally let the guilt I'd been hiding for years do what I never had the courage to? Continuation. The truth always finds its way back to years past. That's how long it took before I saw Emily again. Though saw might be too generous a word. It was more like glimpsed her reflection in the cough window before I realized it was her. She looked the same and yet older, not in a bad way, but in that quiet, tired way people look when they've lived through too much and stop pretending they're okay. Her hair was longer now, her posture more closed off. She was sitting alone, fingers tracing the rim of her coffee cup, her eyes unfocused, somewhere far away, and for a moment I just stood outside the window, frozen in place. The past flooding back like a bruise I'd thought had healed. I almost walked away. I should have, but I didn't. I pushed open the door, the bell chimming softly above me, and the moment she looked up, that same flicker of recognition, the quick flare of pain. It felt like the air was sucked out of the room. "Hi," I managed, my voice barely audible. She stared at me for a long moment. Then, "Lily." Just my name, flat and emotionless. "Can I sit?" I asked. She hesitated, then shrugged. "It's a free country." So I sat. For a while, neither of us said anything. The cough was quiet, save for the soft hum of music and the hiss of milk frothing somewhere behind the counter. Finally, I said, "You look good." Her lips twitched, but not in a smile. "You don't have to do that." "Do what?" "Pretend this is normal." I sighed. "It's not, but I've wanted to talk to you for a long time." She didn't look up. "Why now?" "Because I heard you and Jake aren't together anymore." That got her attention. Her head snapped up, eyes sharp. "Wow. You're keeping tabs on me now." "No," I said quickly. "Jess told me." "I didn't ask, I swear." Emily leaned back in her chair, crossing her arms. "And what, you thought this was your chance to swoop in and fix things?" "I thought it was my chance to apologize properly," I said, the words coming out faster than I intended. She said nothing, just stared at me. That same expression she'd worn the night she closed the door in my face. "I know I can't take back what I did," I said. "And I know what I said about your birthday was cruel. But it wasn't about hating you, Em. It was about me not being able to handle seeing you with him." "I know," she said quietly. "Jake told me everything after we broke up. That stopped me cold." "What did he say?" She hesitated, then let out a long breath. "He said you two dated, that you were together before he met me, and that he never told me because he thought I'd freak out. He said it was just a stupid secret, that you meant nothing to him." My chest tightened. "He said that?" She nodded. "Yeah. But the thing is, I don't think that's true." Her voice softened. "You should have seen how he reacted whenever your name came up. He got all defensive, tense. At first I thought he felt guilty for dating his ex's best friend. But later I think he just never got over you." I blinked. "What are you talking about?" She gave a bitter laugh. "Do you want to know why we broke up?" "Why?" "Because I found out he cheated." The word hung heavy between us. "With who?" I whispered. "Some girl from his gym. I didn't even care about her." What hurt was realizing I'd spent years protecting someone who couldn't even be honest with me about anything. Not about her. Not about you. Not about the fact that half the time he still kept your photos on his old phone. I felt sick. "Emily, I swear I didn't know." She waved a hand. "I'm not blaming you. Not for that, anyway." "Then what are you blaming me for?" She looked at me, her eyes suddenly wet. "For lying to me when you didn't have to. You could have told me the truth from the start. I would have been hurt, sure, but I would have respected you for it. Instead, you let me look like a fool. You watched me love him, your ex, and you said nothing." Her words cracked on that last part, and I felt something deep inside me break again. "I was scared," I said. "Scared of losing you." "Well, You lost me anyway, she said. The silence that followed was unbearable. Finally, I said, I never stopped thinking about that night. The birthday, the messages, the look on your face when you found out it haunts me. Emily wiped her cheek quickly. Good. It should. We sat there in the wreckage of what we used to be. Two ghosts of people who had once trusted each other more than anyone. I miss you, I said softly. She laughed again, brokenly. You miss the version of me that didn't know what you did. Maybe, I said, but I still miss you. For the first time, her eyes softened. Just a little. Then she looked down at her hands. Jake reached out last week, she said suddenly. I stiffened. What did he want? He said he wanted to talk, said he regrets everything, said he thinks we can start over. I felt my stomach turn. And what did you say? She smiled sadly. I told him no. I told him I don't trust men who lie, or women who do. The implication hit hard. She held up a hand, but I also told him something else. I told him that forgiveness isn't for people who deserve it. It's for people who need it. And maybe, she said slowly, maybe that includes you. We sat in silence again. This time, it wasn't as heavy. When she finally stood up to leave, she didn't hug me. She didn't smile. But she also didn't walk away with hate in her eyes. Take care of yourself, Lily, she said. You too? And just like that, she was gone. I watched her leave, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel like I needed to chase her. I just sat there. The weight of everything we'd been, and everything we'd lost, finally lifting off my chest. Maybe we'd never be friends again. Maybe that chapter was closed forever. But maybe, just maybe, we'd both finally stopped letting the past define us. And somewhere deep down, beneath all the mistakes and betrayal, that felt like enough. Continuation. When the past comes back to demand its due 6 months after that tense cough encounter, life seemed to be settling into something resembling normal. I had finally started therapy again. Not the half-hearted kind I'd done in college, but the intensive, soul-wrenching sessions that made me cry for hours and sometimes left me feeling lighter afterward. I was working, saving money, and even started dating again. Cautiously, tentatively, like a wounded animal testing if the world was safe. But then Jake came back. It started with a message. Lily, we need to talk, please. It's about Emily, and me, and everything. I froze. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I wanted to delete it. I wanted to ignore it. I wanted to pretend he never existed. But curiosity, that old, dangerous curiosity, won. I replied, fine. Coffee. Tomorrow, noon. He was already there when I arrived, hands clasped nervously over a steaming mug of black coffee. He looked older, more haggard. Tension lined his face, and the guilt in his eyes was almost tangible. Lily, he said quietly, I'm sorry for everything. I didn't respond. I know, he continued, voice rising slightly, that you hate me, and Emily probably hates me more. But you need to know something. Something she doesn't. I raised an eyebrow. Why would I care about something she doesn't know? Because it's about why I cheated on her, he said, swallowing hard. And why I let you take the fall in your own way. The birthday, the messages, the silence for years. I felt my chest tighten. Go on. He took a deep breath. When we were together before Emily, I was scared. Not of you, not of us. Scared of commitment, scared of feeling trapped. I knew I'd hurt you eventually, and I didn't want to admit it. I remembered those nights vividly. The promises, the whispered confessions, the laughter that had felt like ours alone. I left, he said, and then I saw Emily, and I thought, maybe I could start over. Maybe I could erase my mistakes. You call cheating and lying erasing mistakes? I asked coldly. No, he said quickly. I call it human weakness. But that's not the point. The point is Emily's breakup with me. It wasn't just about the gym girl. It was about trust. About her realizing I've always been hiding pieces of myself. From her, from you, from everyone. I shifted uncomfortably. Here's the thing, he said, leaning forward, eyes desperate. Emily doesn't know the full truth either. She thinks I kept pictures of you and that I loved you in the past. That's true, but she doesn't know I still love you. I felt bile rise. You still love me? After everything? After what you did to her? Yes, he said simply. And before you say anything, am not asking you to forgive me. I'm not asking you to go back. I just need you to know the truth. Because if you don't, Emily and I might rebuild something based on lies. And it'll be worse than before. The next part was the hardest to hear. He admitted that the birthday messages I sent, the ones that had driven Emily away, were something he had seen. I encouraged you to speak, he said quietly, not because I wanted her to hate you, but because I was selfish. I wanted to feel like I still mattered, like I still had influence over both of you. And in the end, I destroyed everything anyway. I felt tears prick my eyes. Not anger, not guilt. Just exhaustion. You destroyed yourself too, I whispered. He nodded. I know. Over the next hour, he laid out every secret he had been hiding. Not to manipulate me, but as if unloading a weight had carried for too long. How he had kept silent about Emily finding out about us because he didn't want to face her heartbreak. How he had flirted with the gym girl not out of attraction, but to convince himself he was free from the guilt of losing me. How he had been trying to find a way back into Emily's life, even as he knew she didn't trust him. How he realized, till late, that the only person he truly hurt irreparably was himself and me. By the time he finished, I didn't know if I wanted to forgive him or scream at him or run. All I knew was that the past had come alive again. That night, I called Emily. I had avoided it for years. Avoided confronting her directly because every time I thought of her, I remembered the betrayal she thought I committed. The hurt in her eyes when she'd finally shut the door on me. But now I had to. Her voice was flat when she answered. Lily, Emily, I need to tell you everything, I said. She didn't respond. I continued. About Jake, about me, about the messages and the birthday. I never wanted to hurt you. I was scared. I was selfish. There was silence. Finally, she whispered, I've missed you. But I don't know if I can ever trust you again. I know, I said softly. I don't expect you to. I just wanted you to know the truth. That's all I wanted. Weeks passed. We talked sporadically. Long messages late at night, hesitant calls where neither of us knew what to say. And then one evening, Emily sent a text I never thought I'd see. Let's meet. No past, no Jake, no secrets. Just us. Coffee, tomorrow. My heart raced. I stared at the message for minutes, unable to decide whether to respond. Finally, I typed, tomorrow, noon, because maybe, just maybe, the past doesn't have to define the future, and maybe, after all the betrayal, heartbreak, and secrets, forgiveness could start with a simple cup of coffee.